He's gone for it. O'Brien has gone for it, and he's done it. O'Brien has saved Salford.
Hey everybody, my name is E-Double, their name is PJ Harvey.
What's going on? It's Monte Gadis out here.
Man.
First day of practice for the Crazy.
Yeah, Black Paisley, Mama told me. Yeah, come on. Mama told me, one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me, it's okay to say when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. Hey, Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Rainstorm, meet me in the conference room, we need to brainstorm. Need some middle ground, need an even keel, but you're a war.
It's just like a family. You know, all my teammates are very supportive, and a lot of things have been coming up with this. As you see, my footwork drills, just a lot of people have been supporting my goals and my grind just to get to the top level with this, and I'm loving it.
Speak on it, fist to the sky, but I can't beat on it. Drinking my cup, so I'm gon' sip on him. Cam Newton's probably pissed, he can't stiff on him. All these levels of these relative problems and benevolence is elegance for those who can solve them. I'm feeling pretty low, like I'm stuck at the bottom, but I know I'll rebound like the Bulls with Rodman. I am just exactly what I will be, just a guy who can rhyme and chop ill beats.
Let's go, Cleveland Rugby League. Let's go! Well, I got introduced to Rugby League in 2016, I believe. I got released from the Iowa Barnstormers, got cut, Arena Football League. I got cut, came back home, started doing personal training, doing boot camps and everything. That's when I got the call from Adam Fogarty. Just gave me the call, said he seen my story on social media. How would I like the opportunity to convert from an American football player to a rugby league player, and try to earn a professional contract. And the rest is history. Everybody knows my story about that, but that's when I first got the rugby league jitterbug, is what they call it. Like, I don't know, I just fell in love with the game. It was still football. I was still trying to, work on my NFL dreams, and I felt like playing rugby league was the closest thing to football. I knew my chances were slim, to none, as into making it into a pro team right now, due to COVID and everything else that's going on. So this was the perfect opportunity to show the world that, I'm more than an athlete. I have a platform for, of course, working out, the NFL stuff and all that, but I'm also a businessman. I'm showing people that I can grow the game, bring it to the community. I would say my drive right now is just completing the mission, finishing my goals, and just knowing what's at stake, how many people are looking up to me, how many people are counting on me, and I don't want to let myself down, That's what it all comes down to. Rugby League had definitely changed my life. It gave me the opportunity to travel the world, which American football was already doing that, but Rugby League was more of a family thing. I still talk to everybody that I became friends with in 2016, 2017, all my teammates. Like, it's a lovely thing, So it's a gentleman's game, definitely a brutal sport, definitely got some fractured bones and, things around, but, it's just, it just comes with the territory. It's a part of the game, and I love it. I had the status, I had the verification before the check, to be honest. Right now I'm just growing the game, I'm selling hope, and giving youth the opportunity to excel in a different type of sport. Learn, you don't have to play the sport, you can learn, you can ref, you can sell merchandise to the sport, it's all type of avenues you can go about with it. It's not about just playing the game. I'm just trying to grow it and just give people a new way, or just expand people's mind on some different things, you know. You know, rugby league has definitely changed my life, and I definitely maybe changed some perspectives on some of the fans about, you know, players, the different cultures, North American rugby league, and players. So I'm just here to open the eyes out. I'm definitely here to talk my shit. You know, I definitely talk shit. That's what most rugby league players and fans and supporters don't know that about me. You know, I come from American football. You know, we talk our mess on the field because, you know, we have those times, the breaks in between to do that. You know, in rugby league, I still can say what I want to say, but it's not as intense as I do in American football. But, you know, you catch me on social media, I say my slick stuff, but I'm always going to back it up, you know, whatever it is. I definitely believe Cleveland and rugby league go hand in hand, you know. Fast pace, the grit, working class, shiesty, but we love to party, the social life, you know. It's a gritty place, gritty sport. I believe they go hand in hand together. Bring it to a community, a low-income community at that, you know, and try to help the kids in the trenches. It's all about motivating the trenches. You know, we call it trenches. That's the, you know, the poverty area of our city. And the youth, they have limited opportunities, and I just want to give them another opportunity and another option of way to make it out of Cleveland, Ohio, just to be successful, you know. I think it helped me, so I believe that. Of course, we're in the talks of doing a lot of things. You know, we're going to keep that behind closed doors, but right now we are our own entity, and we just riding our own wave right now. So we do appreciate the love and the support that we get from all over the world. Our city is definitely still learning and still trying to, you know, get on that, but it's going to happen soon because of the support from definitely Australia and United Kingdom. They're gaining the awareness without them even knowing. You know, I'm reposting everything they're doing, so it's just all love and everything. Organization, you know, and the executive staff that's with me, our goal is to become, you know, on the highest level, of course, with the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland Indians. You know, we're going to be one of the top tier teams here in this city, in this state, and of course in the whole rugby league. So that's our goals. You know, we're going to continue to grow the game. We have, of course, we're going to have in the future with some youth opportunities and also a women's team also. So we're still in the works of all that. You know, you can check out our Instagram at Cleveland Rugby League, and you can also check out our Twitter, CLE Rugby League, CLE Rugby League. Check us out on YouTube, and just stay tuned. You know, we got a lot in store. Jerseys, official site drops December 1st. Pre-orders December 1st to December 8th. You know, stay tuned for that. Show some love, support. That's what I'm doing. I'm supporting this Australia gear. Soon I want to see some Cleveland gear on some of you people. Let's get it. Yee-yee!
The World Cup next year, and how much are you looking forward to that?
Oh, it's ever since I put my hand up to play for Jamaica, it's been a target really. It's been a goal. I'm really excited for it. Obviously, getting a little taste of representing Jamaica against England Knights last year was a great honour, and the feeling that I had when I pulled the jersey and was singing the national anthem was something I've never felt before. So yeah, to be able to do that in the World Cup is something I'm really looking forward to next year. Both my parents were born in Jamaica, both born in Kingston. So when I told my parents, especially my dad, that I was going to be representing Jamaica, bearing in mind I'd already represented the England Knights on 2 occasions and England at your level, the pride that came across his face when I said I was representing Jamaica and they qualified for a World Cup is massive. It's probably the happiest I've seen in my whole career. All the stuff I managed to do. When I told him I was going to play for Jamaica, it was full of pride. So, it was great to be honoured to be selected. And obviously, they want me to come and have a big input on the team. I'm proud of.
And obviously, you've been grouped against Ireland, Lebanon, and New Zealand. It's a very exciting group. Obviously, there's a lot of players familiar with the Ireland and Jamaica teams as well. And obviously, having New Zealand there, are you looking towards anything in particular in that group?
Looking forward to all the games. To be fair, they're all going to have their own emphasis. Really, the Ireland game, that'll obviously the first game of the tournament, the opening game, and we'll be going in that hoping to win. We've got a lot of talent on our side, and we're not turning up just to make up the numbers. We want to come and ruffle some feathers, really. And one thing you're going to get from this team is a lot of pride and a lot of passion, and hopefully that'll be enough to hopefully upset a few teams in our group, and that'll be the aim when we're going, especially with the Ireland and Lebanon games. And then obviously the challenge of facing New Zealand, that was something I personally was really excited about when the draw was made. I wanted to get drawn against New Zealand or Australia. They were the main two teams I wanted to get drawn against, and to have the opportunity to face up against the All Blacks and face the Hackers, something I've always dreamed of doing. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I mean, what should be a packed house, certainly.
I imagine as well, because Jamaica when you think of sporting in Jamaica, it's not traditionally tied in with rugby, especially Rugby League. So, and you've been part of that squad now. How important is it to them and those lads to be part of that international squad and be part of that team, as the Rugby League players?
It's absolutely massive. Romeo and all the guys that have gone before me, this has been going on for 11 years now. They've been putting in the foundations and doing the work, and the squad that's gone before me, they're the ones that have got the next position, really. I've only come in pretty much last year onto the scene, so to try and help us go to that next level. But the work that Romeo's been doing and the other guys back in Jamaica on the island to spread the game of rugby league is massive. Since I think it's 2009, he's set up a league on the island, and he's just constantly growing the game of rugby league. And obviously next year we're going to have, I think it's 4 or 5 Jamaican-based players that will be coming over and will be part of the squad. And I think 2 of those will be playing each game, which is massive, I think. And for the people on the island, it's huge. It's just the sport's getting bigger and bigger, and it's continuing to grow, because major sports over there are obviously track and field and football, really. So for a fairly unknown sport and a team that's been going only 11 years to qualify for a major tournament, I think it's Jamaican, and it's something very special and something I'm glad to be a part of.
Because there's a hell of a lot of good players now within that team, and so how big could it be within Jamaica, do you think? And how much could the World Cup help that? Sorry.
The World Cup will be massive for it. I think the coverage, the TV coverage, it'll be on, obviously, it's going to be on the BBC, so which is national TV station, and obviously they've already took the World Cup trophy over there, and they've been around the schools, and I think it's gathering a buzz, and the buzz is growing over there, and the buzz is growing over here within the Caribbean communities. We've been doing a lot of promos to just try to grow the sport and reach a new audience and attract new people into rugby league. I think rugby league suits Jamaicans down to the T. They're athletic, explosive, powerful, and fast people, and that's our game. And I think if we continue to show how great rugby league is, we can only encourage more and more young players to play the game.
The other angle from this would be your first involvement within a World Cup as well, and you've had a long career already. So how big is this for you personally as a player to be going to a World Cup?
Absolute massive, yeah. It's been a dream of mine, obviously. The first one back in 2013, I was involved in the England night squad at that stage. I was only 23, so probably a little bit young, just missed out on the World Cup. Well, I was in the England setup, but missed out on the first team squad in 2017. Probably wasn't playing well enough at that time to make the England squad. So now to have the opportunity to play in a World Cup is something I'm really looking forward to, and something I'll cherish forever, definitely.
And also, I understand that the end of the Super League next season is pretty close to the start of the camps for the World Cup. Do you have any concerns about that? Because I think it's like 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks. And no, not really. It'll literally probably just feel like the season's continuing in a way. There'll be no rest. I'll just continue training continue preparations. Probably give the impact. Not having to play games will be good for the body for a couple of weeks. But yeah, probably roll straight into the World Cup. It's going to be a very long season. Obviously, we go back to pre-season with Huddersfield on January the 4th. So from then, I'll be pretty much flat out until November.
And finally, what are your aims as personally and for squad for the World Cup with Jamaica?
Personally, to help the boys around me as much as possible, to help the island boys that come over, help advance their game, help educate them, help them on the field as much as possible, share my experience really. I think I'm probably one of the most, if not the most experienced guy in the squad, so I'm going to see that as one of my roles, and obviously to help drive the professionalism within the squad as well, definitely, because I know what it's going to take to be successful. I've been around. I've been obviously lucky enough to be obviously play full time in Super League for a long time, so I know what it takes to be successful at a high level, and that's what we're going to need in the squad. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking to do personally, and obviously perform. At the end of the day, it all comes down to performance. So I'm going to have to play very well and do my best to help the team try and upset some sides in the World Cup. From a team performance, just everyone just play to their potential. Really, hopefully, like I said before earlier, we're going to play with a lot of pride, a lot of passion, and try to upset and ruffle some teams up pretty much and see what happens. But as long as we go out there and give it us all and give us the best account of ourselves, and we can walk off the field with heads held high and what they call it, have no regrets really, because I think obviously, like I said, we're not going there just to make up numbers, but what we've done already is outstanding really, what the boys have managed to do to qualify for a World Cup. So this is the reward now for that, and now we've got we don't want to let this opportunity go, because you don't know when the next one's coming around, so we've got to make the most of this opportunity.
Definitely. Thanks so much for helping me out, Michael. It's a pleasure to speak to you again.
No worries, anytime.
Ollie, how you doing?
No, then, pal, good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time, isn't it?
I know, very long. Strange.
Next year, obviously, there's the Rugby League World Cup, and you'll hopefully be representing Ireland at that time. And it's
yeah.
How much are you looking forward to that?
Oh yeah, I'm buzzing for it. It's always a big boost playing for the free country, and especially on such a big stage against some big teams. It's massive, to be fair.
Obviously, you were part of the Ireland side who topped the European qualifying against Italy and Spain. What's it been like to be part of that side to get to the World Cup to actually qualify?
Yeah, it's good. I only played in the Spain game. They were a bit of I remember a bit of a weird scenario.
Yes.
Playing over in Spain, having to walk to the game and stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of an eye opener. You see different stuff and you learn different things. And qualifying was brilliant. The buzz and the feeling, just to knowing that we're going to the World Cup again, was magic.
And in terms of the World Cup itself, it's not your first ride in the World Cup, because you were part of the Ireland side back in 2017 over in Australia, and I think you got man of the match against Wales in Perth. So what from your experience already, what is it like to be part of a World Cup?
Oh, it's a different level. It's a whole different level. It's a bit closer to home because you're playing for your country. You're doing your family. Don't get me wrong, playing Super League, you're doing yourself proud and your team, your club proud. But country is just something else. You join together with boys that you play against week in, week out. Sometimes play with some lads from Ireland come across, and we all form together like a little family. And we're challenging other countries. So there's a country riding on your back.
And obviously, your World Cup group, you've been put against Jamaica, Lebanon, and New Zealand. How exciting is that for a group for yourself, from the prospect of playing like the New Zealanders and a couple of friends in the Jamaican side as well?
Yeah, it's massive. I'm really looking forward to the New Zealand game. Of course, we'll have the hacker and so on. Never experienced that. So lined up against that will be something serious.
Yeah, I always imagine that. I remember we spoke in a podcast once about what the nation would do back to the hacker, and I can only imagine that the Irish team's doing like a Cayley or something.
Yeah, don't know what they do. Probably a bit of a jig dance.
And I suppose it helps as well that your games are based in Leeds and Lee, which means everything's quite close to home as well. Does that?
Yeah, I'm hoping the Jamaica game we're going to be played at Huddersfield, to be fair. That'd have been a good ground because there's a massive Irish following and a massive Jamaican following and that. So I thought it'd have been good. But of course, Leeds again, if we can get the game hosted there, that'll be magic because it's only just down the road.
In terms of like the team you play within, the Irish lads, what does it mean to them actually to be part of a team representing Ireland? Because Rugby League is by no means the biggest sport in Ireland. No,
of course not. So having to speak in a couple of the Irish boys, Rugby Union is their thing, and of course like Gaelic football and so on. But I think at any chance for someone to represent a country and to do the country proud is a massive honour. So if that be football, Gaelic football, Rugby Union, Rugby League, I think if they get a chance, they'll take it with both hands and they'll fulfil it the best they can. It's just a massive honour.
Do you almost feel like, I suppose, because we mentioned it's not the biggest game in Ireland, you got Gaelic football and you got Rugby Union there, which are the two biggest sports. Do you almost feel like a sense of responsibility sometimes to try and grow it through playing well, I suppose, especially in like a tournament like the World Cup?
Yeah, so last year in the World Cup we were massive under. I remember speaking to someone before and they said, you do know like you was massive odds to lose against Italy, and I'm like, yeah. Hey, what do you mean? And they said, they had Ireland as a massive underdogs, like they were just going to be the field, like just plod through the World Cup. I said, not a chance. I said, look, the boys that represent Ireland here and the island and then the pride we've got, we're going to push far. We just missed out on that Papua New Guinea game of sealing the chances to play England. But yeah, it's a bit overlooked. I don't think there is enough promotion for it over in Ireland, and there's definitely a market for it. It's there, but it's just getting that market and getting people to buy into it, so on.
Do you think there could be a potential for it to grow in Ireland?
100%, yeah, I agree. I think there is.
It just seems to me if you've got a Rugby Union side as famous as there is, it would only make sense to have a league side, how exciting the game is.
You could say the same over here. There's massive Rugby Union over here. Salford play at the same stadium as Sale Sharks.
Yeah.
One's a Super League team, one's a Rugby Union team. Like it can coincide and play along together. So for a Dublin team, I think it'd be fantastic.
What are you looking forward to the most about being part of a World Cup again, and especially in the home nation?
Just getting back in with the boys, so getting all like the big family back together, and then basically just going out there and playing together. Playing them big teams, trying to turn them big teams over, like a bit of an upset with being New Zealand, and then Lebanon going to be a tough game, especially the Jamaica game. There's no real easy game there going into it. They're all going to be a tough, good battle, which I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait to be part of.
Does it make it even more exciting knowing that it could be one of the first major tournaments sort of post-lockdown as well? We could see good-sized crowds for them as well.
Yeah. Like I said, my only worry is potentially the season running on too long and us running back into. Because I think the NRL, of course, have got it right now, so they'll start the season at the correct time, they'll finish it at the correct time, and they'll have the correct preparation, the players that are playing, to roll on into the World Cup. For us, I think there's a window of 2 weeks from the last game, maybe, and then we'd go into camp. So there isn't much of a leeway. If anyone does pick up any niggles or injuries at the back end of the season, you haven't got much of a window.
So do you already know your schedule rolling up to that then?
Yeah, just wondering how it'll all fit, and if there's any delayed games, or is any games are going to string out again, if the pandemic, if anything spikes again. Like, it's just living in the unknown, really, I guess.
But finally, what would you say that your aims are for the World Cup as a team and personally?
Personally, again, it's just to go up another level from when I played last time for Ireland. I want to have a good year at club level this year, so that'd be at Salford. I want to make sure I have a good year there, knuckle down, try to secure a spot, get some regular good game time, and then roll on into the World Cup, carry that on, and just try to be a leading part of the Ireland squad and push on and win as many games as we can and go as far as we can.
I have been playing Rugby Union for about 15 years. I am the club president for the Toronto Lions. I am the women's convener for the Toronto Rugby Union and the equipment manager for the Ontario Rugby League. We most recently made these great fancy masks that we are putting in another order for with our logo right there. Most recently in 2019, I was selected to play against Serbia in Serbia, and that was a great achievement for me. And now I am part of the potential Canada selects for the World Cup 2021. I'm really excited about that. Why Rugby League is important to me, how important it is to me is it's the most important thing in my life right now, to be honest. I recently started my own business in health and safety consulting so that I could dedicate myself full-time to training while still being able to maintain an income. I also got a COVID puppy, this little guy named Scrum, that I named Scrum, so rugby is clearly like everything in my life, like, so is this guy. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much more dedicated than that. This World Cup could be monumental for Women's Rugby League across Canada because from the very first practice, I've seen it grow across Canada, like the interest. I've seen people start to take interest, and I think that it has the potential to grow to be as popular as the Australia and the UK, because because this is the foundation. We can make it into anything we want, and especially with the Wolfpack not being in Toronto anymore, we can take that momentum. We were already working a lot with them for fundraisers, attending every game, having a presence there, and I think we can just take their momentum and run with it and really grow women's sport, women's rugby league in Toronto and across the nation. Very excited. I actually went on tour with a bunch of Australians back to back from Serbia. I flew to Japan to see the Rugby Union World Cup, and it was interesting. The most interesting thing I learned there was that in some places of Australia they call AFL footy, and other places will call Rugby League footy. And I would love if in Canada there was Rugby Union and Rugby League, instead of people just viewing Rugby Union as a rugby, and then Rugby League has that subtext. So I think that we're on the road to make that definition and have both sides just love each other and appreciate each other and the sport for what it is. So I'm really excited to participate in that. And as far as how far can the Ravens go in this 2021 World Cup is, I think we could take it all the way. I mean, if we have the right support, if we have the time to come together and train together, I think anything's possible. I'm really excited for this sport altogether. I mean, we could make it into anything we want it to be. It's so new for women's sport in this nation, across the nation. We can make it fair, inclusive, accessible, and I think that having those core values as a foundation, there's nowhere that we can't go with that. All the way to the cup even. So that's my 2 cents, and I invite you to take a look into Rugby League if you haven't, and fall in love with rugby all over again just like I have.
So what have we learned? Rugby League offers opportunity, honour, family and commitment. It is a magical sport where rivalries are vigorous yet fun. Hardships are common, but your allies are always around you. Rugby League is the underdog, and everyone in it knows. It is pushed aside, forgotten, and yet it is the fountain of good and sport of excitement. But despite being the underdog, as a sport it has grown and spread, touching all corners of the earth and helping out so many along the way. With the Rugby League World Cup right around the corner, I think this is a good chance to remember that this game, birthed in Huddersfield and played across the globe, is part of something more. It's part of the league world.